Hi everyone, welcome to Maximum Attack Rallying and to your Monday dose of rallying chit chat. Today I find myself pondering a question. So over the weekend I fell down something of a rallying black hole on YouTube. Not unusual by any means, but this particular black hole was centered on the French Rally Championship back in 1995. So as you would expect, there was a bit of F2 kit car action, and in particular the Peugeot 306 and Renault Clio. And I just couldn't help but feel that I wish modern two-wheel drive rallying was as exciting as things were back in those days. And I just found myself wondering, would a modern interpretation of the F2 kit car regulations inject that excitement and maybe make two-wheel drive rallying today as exciting as it was back then? Now, if you are not familiar with the kit car regulations and you'd like me to do a more detailed video about that, do let me know in the comments and I can do that, but I'm going to give you a very quick run through of what kit cars are. So basically back in 1994, the FIA agreed an extension to the Group A regulations for cars up to 2 litre and two-wheel drive. The idea was to encourage more excitement and to try and bring more manufacturers into the sport without having to develop an expensive four-wheel drive Group A car like an Escort Cosworth or a Subaru Impreza. The regulations were actually pretty simple. They were an extension to the Group A regulations known as Variant Kit, or VK, which is where the kit car term comes from, and it was basically a kit of parts to modify an existing two-wheel drive Group A car. The modifications were actually relatively simple. So in bodywork terms, you could extend the wheel arches to widen the track. I think you could go up to around 1830 millimeters, as I recall. You could also add a rear wing, but that had to be 1 meter wide. I can't remember the height exactly, but it was very carefully restricted. You could add a bonnet vent, for example, and then critically you could make some engine modifications. You could change the standard intake and exhaust manifolds, which for normally aspirated cars made a big difference indeed, and doing that unlocked a lot of additional power. Minimum weight for a Group A 2 litre car at that time was 960 kilos. So as you can imagine, with more power, wider track, it made these cars a lot faster and created the legendary F2 cars that we remember today. It was an incredible era, and it just made me think, watching that video, that maybe we just need a little bit of that magic back again. You know, that it was so impressive that it brought manufacturers in, and F2 cars were so strong and the interest in the category was so strong that it formed the basis of a lot of national championships. The British Rally Championship went F2 only. They were dominant in France and in Spain. You know, they were the main focus of attention, and I just wonder if it might inject some excitement. As I said, don't get me wrong, a current Rally 4 car is a very impressive machine. The speed is very good. I just wonder if maybe if they looked a bit more spectacular, that might generate a little bit more interest, and some relatively simple tweaks to the regulations, much like the kit car rules, might just create a bit more buzz around the lower categories that we saw back in this era with the kit cars that went. Yes, you had the fancy 2 litre cars, but those regulations extended down the order as well, so it was applied to 1600 and even 1400 cars. So maybe that could be a means of making those categories more interesting. I always felt, just hovering on the current regulations for a moment, I always felt that the decision to go four-wheel drive with Rally 3 was a little bit of an odd one. I find those cars a bit strange. Yes, they have become more popular over the last couple of years. We're now starting to see reasonable entries at WRC level, but I just wonder if a slightly pumped up two-wheel drive class might have been a better solution than another kind of four-wheel drive class, and it might have been a better way to bridge the gap to Rally 2 cars. I think what I like about it as well is that it wouldn't even be that complicated. So I think the bodywork side, I think you could pretty much carry the regulations over from the F2 era wholesale to today. Basically all you have to do is allow wider bodywork. You can have a width restriction. You could extend it a little bit to account for the fact that modern cars are a bit bigger, but if you look at it, I think a Fiesta Rally 2 is actually about 10 mil narrower than an F2 kit car, so you could probably even keep the dimensions the same. You know, you could have your very restricted rear wing. I think the 1 meter wide rear wing idea would probably still work. And crucially, I think the engine regulations are probably even simpler than they were back in the day, because as I said earlier, in those days they were allowing the change of inlet and exhaust manifolds, which is very important because most of those cars were normally aspirated. But with nowadays Rally 4 cars all being turbocharged, I think a change in the turbo restrictor size would probably be enough and allow the manufacturers to just either upgrade their existing turbochargers or find a different turbocharger from somewhere to bring power up to more like 250 odd horsepower, and that would probably be enough. Otherwise, you could keep all of the regulations in line with Group A, so suspension pickup points all have to remain within 25mm of standard, and all the suspension has to operate in the way that it does from the factory. And I think that would be about it. It could even be sold, I think, as a kit to upgrade an existing Rally 4 car, just as an F2 kit was sold to upgrade a regular Group A car. What do you think? Would you like to see a modern interpretation of the kit car return to international rallying? Personally, I love the idea of a wide arch Peugeot 208 fighting it out with a wide arch Renault Clio or Opel Corsa or Ford Fiesta. I think it could be really interesting as well to see lightweight, high performance two-wheel drive cars taking the fight to some of the categories above. Yes, I know keeping up with a Rally 2 car might be a bit of a stretch, but on smooth tarmac with low enough weight and enough power, maybe we might see an upset, and I think that would just add a little bit of interesting jeopardy, perhaps more so than Rally 3 has done. And everyone loves a wide arch rally car, don't they? Let's face it, the N5 Peugeot on the screen shows how good the 208 looks with some slightly blown out bodywork. I know that car is four-wheel drive, but it just looks so good, doesn't it? Wide arches look so good, and I just think it would be nice to inject a bit of excitement into those categories. As I said, all you need to do is make sure that the bodywork is wide, the engines are loud, and the exhausts are coming out of the side like the very best F2 cars, and we would be away. Another thing you need to make sure of is that you check out the Maximum Attack Rallying merch store. Do go and have a look on there and see what you fancy and do a buy. As always, do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think below. Should we bring back a modern version of the kit cars? And I will see you again next time.